Hi, my name is Ash. Welcome to my channel, Ash is Rising. Please know that anything that I talk about here is for entertainment purposes only, and it's all meant for fun. Nothing's too serious. If you like what you hear, please like and subscribe. And always take what resonates with you and leave the rest. Here I talk about astrology and things within the planets. I'm very curious and do card readings just to see what comes up because it's kind of fun. And yeah, so this is an open conversation. Feel free to comment as long as it's civil and nice and keeping it classy, sort of. All right, so let's get into it. I could not help but make messages today. I know that by the time that everybody sees this, it'll be Saturday, the 25th, which is when Uranus stations into Gemini after 8 years since 2018 in Taurus. It will be entering Gemini at, I believe, around 9 o'clock tomorrow evening. And what's also strange about this is the fact that our moon was void of course on Thursday afternoon around 3:30 in Leo, and it didn't station into Virgo until about 6:30 on Friday evening, so the 24th. So that's strange that it was over a 24-hour gap of void of course. That means a lot of things are happening. And think about it, it's going in from Leo, strong, direct, strength, courage, truth in a way, just boldness, and it goes into Virgo, which is a lot of analytical overthinking, possibly secrets, just micromanaging of everything. So it's just odd that there was no course of action in between those two signs for over 24 hours, also at the same time that a planet is entering a new sign after 8 years. A huge sign, a huge planet, like Uranus going through, destructing everything, taking up everything that you go through and being like, are you sure? Like, let's tear it apart, just tear it apart. That and Pluto, man, it's Saturn, Uranus, Pluto, it's a little intense when it comes through a different zodiac sign, especially the transitions. Also, earlier today, Friday, the planet Venus entered Gemini around noon. So that's also kind of cool. Things are leaving Taurus, they're entering Gemini. We're about to start. We have started the Taurus zodiac, so yeah. Okay, so I couldn't help. I've been getting messages all day, like just weird synchronicities. Like I was working all day and I went to do different places and went to work and found people ending up next to each other who had the exact same outfits on, people who don't even know each other. And they're right next to each other randomly. And they're like wearing the exact same color shirt, like a t-shirt versus a tank top or a sweater, and then wearing the same exact like color pants or whatever, and even socks. It's strange. And I found this at 2 different locations, like 15 miles away. It was so bizarre. So I know, and that's like some Gemini energy right there, that twin energy where there's dualistic and like there's a lot of like blended mentalities going on. So if you've been having weird dreams lately, or you've been having strange people that come up in your dreams and it feels kind of cryptic, or it feels like memories you've had before, or perhaps like alternate realities, that's also a thing. So I'm going to start with this. Can't seem to get it too. That might have been why. Yeah. Oh, cool. That is so cool. I love it. Okay. This is a deck about, it's not an oracle or a tarot or anything. It's just about the constellations in the sky. And I feel like that's super relevant right now because of everything that's going on. So also today we had the moon trine, the void of course moon trining Jupiter, or yeah. Nope, actually Saturn, sorry. Saturn, Mars, and Mercury. it seemed to be in opposition to Pluto. Okay. All right. Come on. Okay. Go ahead. Myself. Let's see. What's here? Triangulum Austral. Oh, that's so funny. The Southern Triangle. As you can see, like I was just talking about trines, the trine between Saturn, the Moon, Mars, and Mercury, with the void, of course, Moon. And then here we have the brightest star in Alpha Trianguli Australis, Atria, is a red giant star, 5,500 times more luminous than the Sun. Its name is a contraction of its designation. It represents the state of Rio Grande do Sul on the flag of Brazil. Oh wow, it's actually the Brazil. Okay, that's really cool. The Deep Field South Survey, which used the Hubble Space Telescope to observe a small region of the sky in Triangulum, Austral, discovered many distant and faint galaxies. With an area of 110 square degrees, Triangulum Austral ranks just 83rd in size out of the 88 constellations. And it's seen mid-May, which we're coming up on in just a couple weeks, between 15 degrees north and 90 degrees south, which are factors of each other, 15 being 1 and 90 being 6. So 1 and 6. So that's pretty cool. That's really cool. All right. And it's next to Centaurus, Cercinus, Lupus. And if I'm not saying these right, please don't be offended or whatever. Pronunciations are weird. Okay, so next, I'm gonna go through some brief readings here. I just kept getting like all these random messages that like about cycles repeating, just the whole closing of a cycle. And like, I think about what was going on. Ugh, like 8 years ago, my life was completely changed. I had just stopped working. I had just lost a parent. And I was rebuilding my life from scratch, learning how to become part of a bigger unit and surrendering my power for a greater cause that became my root and foundation of how I was living my life on a daily basis. Half of me was really, it was just very different, and I was entering a different time of my life, and it just seems very unique that the cycle before that, before Uranus entered Taurus, it was in Aries. And that would have been the previous 8 years. So from 2010 to 2018, Aries was dominating Uranus. Uranus was dominating Aries, however that works. And yeah. And I think about what was happening before that, because before that, it was in Pisces. From 2002 to 2010, I happened to leave my foundations, which I believe Uranus that's what it does. It just messes with your foundations and where you are and what you consider to be stable and home. And that's weird because that's what Taurus represents, like love, beauty, foundations, stability, lack of change, like preservation, high quality. And it just seems that every time that this happens, like in 2002, when Uranus was in Pisces, I had left in mid-May, literally mid-May, to begin a new foundation with a different life altogether, going and changed, my entire life changed. And then in 2000, the same thing happened. 2010, the same thing happened again. I was in a relationship that I thought was going to be my entire life built around, as far as foundations and home and stability were concerned, aside from my career and other parts of my livelihood. But I had been with someone for a long time, and that person happened to be a Gemini identical twin. And 2010 was when things really ended for good. Like, that was the last time that there was any type of interaction or any type of, like in the very beginning. It was actually in January, which is also another ironic time, where it was during the snowpocalypse too. I just remember there was a blizzard and I was just like, wow. And there were third parties involved, of course, and that had been an issue previously. It's always that third party energy, that betrayal. And I guess it taps into abandonment wounds and things, because right now we're all supposed to be paying attention to what Gemini holds for us. Like, if you have Gemini in your natal chart, you're thinking about what that is about and where that is and what houses they're in. Because whatever is going on there, that's what's about to be tested. And there's deeper rooted issues and lessons that need to be learned in this lifetime in order for you to surpass. And the more that you know about what that is, the more that you can deal with those issues head on instead of letting it control you. So, for example, my Gemini is in, I have Chiron, I have Lilith, and I have one more thing. I have also my vertex in Gemini. And it's just kind of bizarre because those are both related to like mother wounds, like the unhealed. Like Chiron is like always like the hidden like mother wound, and Lilith is just like the non-planet arrangement, mathematical representation of that which is suppressed, that which hasn't been dealt with, like the unwillingness to surrender, that like I must stick up for myself, like the repressed, like I would rather leave than tolerate this. And if I'm entering that now in 2026, 16 years after everything was wrecked, like before, it's like it was like big towers going on. 2002, 2010, and then in 2018, losing parent, and then going through a whole bunch of transitional changes, giving up my career and changing my life altogether to devote to family and to being home and really putting down roots after working all the time before that. And now here I am going through another situation in my life that's kind of involving the same thing. And I'm picking up in work again, and everything is changing, and I can't even recognize myself from a year ago, pretty much. My mentality, the way I think, the way I feel, I mean, even just a few months ago. And again, things really came to a point in late fall and then January of this year. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that even though these things were happening and things were scary and I had to fight to get over or out of whatever situation that I was in, I always ended up in a better place than I was before. And it didn't feel like that at the time. But then once I got settled in, it got better. Like 2018 actually ended up being not too bad of a year in comparison to some others. I know that's probably not a healthy way of looking at that, but it wasn't as crazy. 2017 was pretty rough. However, 2018, I was starting all these different new roles. Like, I had an issue with my weight. I had undiagnosed conditions and there was a bunch of changes going on in my life that I was adjusting to, and it actually felt like my life was entering a stage that was more stable than before, where things were just like, okay, this is it, this is what I'm doing. And I guess even if it's boring in some ways or it's more domesticated, it's fine. And as far as that goes, just that part of it. There are other things going on, but when it comes to that, I feel like I was entering a place in my life that I think I wanted more than not, whereas the other things I had to just kind of push through and persevere and get out of. The one in 2010 was pretty rough. But then by the time July, August came, I was kind of happy. Like June, July, August, I had gotten validation and I was able to make peace with the situation that I had been in. And I was starting a new part of my life. I started a new job. And then later that year, I met, like, my life just changed altogether. Entirely. And yeah, so here I am going through maybe one of the most difficult situations that a person can go through as far as foundations are concerned. However, I feel like if I was okay after the last transitions, and each time my life got somewhat better in different ways. It was always in different ways. It was never all the ways, because, yeah, I guess that's the whole point of the wheel. But I did eventually find myself in a more stable place that I was more in alignment with than not. Like, I have more confidence in who I am as a person now because I gave my time to learn and go through those things, like sixth house stuff, like first house, second house. I know who I am so much more now because of the time that I took, even if things weren't healthy or ideal. And now I know what I need to do. I just need the time to do it. So this is, but I'm just like, okay, well, this life only goes for so long. Like, when does it actually just calm down in a way that there's nothing that's left to come to the surface and I can just kind of be where I want to be and not have to worry about the changes so much. Like, no more huge towers, like no more really unwanted towers that are like unexpected or things that just uproot everything in your life to the point where it's like, okay, I have no idea where I am. I'm just, all I can do is surrender and go with the flow. I'm kind of over it. I don't know about you, but yeah, I'm really ready for stability that doesn't involve chaos and trauma and just ugliness. And now that we're going into Gemini, it's like, okay, if it's mother wound and it's the repressed mother, the one who would not, or the repressed feminine that would not surrender to the whole demiurge regime, then yikes. So, yay, Uranus in Gemini. Saturday night, going forward, dealing with Castor and Pollux, the twins, one foot in one world, foot in the other. And maybe that's why there's been so many signs about having people come up, like having their previous lives, like people from their past coming up back into their lives presently, even if it's just for a brief cycle to close things out. Considering I was about to spend my life with an identical twin who was a Gemini as well. That's probably something. I'm not sure. I guess I'm going to find out. But honestly, I'm not really looking I don't want the past. I want to move forward. There's no one from the past that I feel like I'd even want to see. I don't really want closure of any kind from them. I just want to move on and find, like, look ahead and take what I've gone through, learn from it, and become more myself in alignment with the world that I see around me, and contribute to it in a way that's harmonious. Helping others, doing my best, learning things, using my discernment, not worrying so much about what other people are doing or comparing myself to others, because that just doesn't, like, that defeats the purpose of all of this. Is we're all supposed to figure out who we are in this life. And I think that's part of the breaking down, that whole Lilith, that I will not surrender. Like, I refuse. Like, this is not what I want. And then, like, the whole mother wound of the things that, like, issues of limiting beliefs or abandonment issues, trauma that was undealt with, things hiding beneath the surface that you're not dealing with, which I know is more of a Pluto situation, but if it's affecting your foundations and your personality that you carry around and make your decisions based off of on a daily basis, then yeah, that's going to be something that comes up from the whole Chiron and Lilith combination, at least for me. But check your chart out, see what's going on, see what's in Gemini, and see what house it's in, and maybe look into that. Okay, so, there it goes. I was going to start with Aries. Okay, so first card that comes out, Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles, so that's abundance, opportunity, flourishing, creativity, very nurturing. Wow, okay. So that would make sense, because Aries goes through a lot. They take a lot of crap, and there's a lot of fire there, a lot of newborn fire, and they're bold and it's fearless and it's kind of admirable in a way, but it's also scary. And it's also not always based off of, like, what's for the greater good of everyone. They don't really care who they hurt sometimes, and don't take any offense, because I mean, we all do that. It doesn't matter what sign you are. There's always some of that in every sign, but they're so bold that it's just like, and so, yeah, go Lilith, you know. But, like, yeah, it's like the fool taking the new journey, going on the new journey. But here it's great, because it's like, it's a sign of abundance and opportunity. Perhaps people who have gone through some tower moments within the last year and the beginning of this year are about to experience that new transition that leads to calmer waters, but not in a Six of Swords way, but in a, like, abundance and opportunity way, where they feel like they own that. They're the queen. Doesn't mean it's gender specific. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and lay down some cards. We got the Hangman, changing in perspective, and the Page of Wands. Okay. That's reversed. So a message of opportunity and alchemy. So, interesting. Sorry, I'm just taking a second here, seeing what I'm picking up from this. So for Aries, opportunity leading to a change in perspective. Message of opportunity. Alchemy. So maybe a blockage. It maybe went into more of a restrictive way, or like stagnation of some kind. Let's see. Then I have the Seven of Swords in reverse. That's actually good, because Seven of Swords. It's one of my least favorite cards in the deck. So instead of deceiving others in the present moment, reversed, Eight of Pentacles, harvest of hard work, hardworking, building something new, really taking the time to build and master something. So the opposite of that is just maybe full surrender and like letting it go. It's almost like a tower in a way. So because it's like the Seven of Swords in reverse. Instead of being plotting, strategic, deceptive, stealing or cheating in some way, you're releasing that kind of aspect and you're surrendering to the process. And then you have the Eight of Pentacles that's reversed and is doing the same thing. It's like all that hard work, all the harvest, you just had to pick up and go. Like it's got a lot of like pick up and go energy. Like I'm done, I'm out, bye. Like I'm leaving. And so that's what I see here. All right, and I know I'm shuffling, which means that I'm not getting to the bottom of the deck or the challenge, but that's okay. I have a feeling that there's a reason why I'm doing this. Okay. Okay, so what's this? Okay. And this came out upright. 10 of Pentacles. Yeah. That's actually, oh no, it's not upright. It is reversed as well. So I guess that's like misfortune. Let's see, let's go this way then. 10 of Pentacles is like fulfillment. It's closing out of a cycle of like abundance and opportunity. Like you've made it. Like you've got the 10 of Pentacles. Everything's in alignment. Everything's good to go. Like everything in your career, everything in yourself, fulfillment. So it seems like the present moment for Aries is a lot of just like giving it up, a lot of just going through some turmoil, having to start all over again. They lost their nest egg, everything that they were working towards to harvest, all their future plans, or even if they didn't have future plans, it's like everything that they thought their life was going to be, it just got picked up and torn apart and they had no choice but to go. Take this as it resonates, leave the rest. Okay. So then, in the near future, we see the High Priestess, which contemplation, it's either Virgo or Pisces energy. And those are like two opposing signs. So that's kind of interesting. Why there'd be those two signs that would identify with this card. And then Justice. So it's like wisdom and intuition. You've got this priestess on her throne. She has her secrets and she has her own like self-reflection going on, but she knows everything that's going on. There's abundance behind her. This forest of things growing and all of these seeds that are ready to be planted. The fruit is ripe and she is ripe with wisdom and she holds the pillars. She is the priestess. She holds the moon. Okay. And then Justice, and then the upright 9 of Pentacles, which is your energy fulfillment. You see the lady in the garden. She's got flowers, which actually kind of look like Venus on her robe. And there's her pentacles in the garden. She's holding the bird. And it's just all abundance and energy. Maybe it's a dude, I don't know. It doesn't have to be gender specific, but it's like, that's just walking the property, just, hanging out, enjoying all of her energy and freedom. So that surrender made you have to use your wisdom and intuition. And it was almost as if everything was so uprooted that there was nothing secure to hold onto, so that you were forced to use that intuition to lead you to justice, to regain something that led to fulfillment and the restoration of your energy in a more obviously stable way, because this person looks very happy, looks very fulfilled, looks like they have everything going on. They're just walking the vineyard, the vine of the vine. So yeah. So challenge, I guess, since I was shuffling anyway, I'm just going to say here, we have the 7 of Wands and the devil, which is a lot of analytical overthinking, limiting beliefs that you're letting enter your environment or your mental space. Okay. So that's a different energy here. So watch out for somebody entering your life that is bringing more burdens. Don't get yourself caught up in the same cycles that you were in before. Hold on to whatever it took to regain this. Whatever patterns you built to get to this point, hang on to those. Pay attention and reflect. Whatever this high priestess, whatever intuition, wisdom, secrets you held that, you know, were self-reflective, not secrets in a deceptive way, but like internal knowings, like memories, whatever led to that, it gave you peace, it gave you justice, it gave you validation, whatever you needed in order to feel that fulfillment, maybe validation in yourself. So the challenge for Aries, because they are so bold into new adventures and they're leaders, they have to be the ones in charge, definitely. And that, I'd say that with respect. Don't get back into this to where you're fighting off all sorts of burdens and cycles that you worked so hard to pull yourself out of, because obviously you had to surrender to it. So don't get trapped in your head in the past. Hold on to whatever gave you this. Whatever gives you this, that's going to be where you're focusing on. So I'm sure that's going to mean something different for everyone. Take it as it resonates again. Okay. That's Aries. Okay. I'm not going to do any clarifications because that seemed pretty, well, I mean, okay. Let me clarify these two challenges in the near future. Okay. Go ahead and take this back in. So we have the Seven of Wands and the Devil. Let's clarify this for Aries. What's coming in the near future that they don't see that could be helpful to help them transit and navigate Uranus entering a new sign coming up in the next week, month, year, whatever applies, or what's been happening already in the past year. Let's see. So we have the Nine of Wands, Ten of Swords, and the Hermit for the Seven of Wands. That's interesting. Okay. Don't take on too many new burdens. Don't keep it light. Keep yourself on the go and keep in that surrender space. I know that Aries typically can be very like, yeah, okay, let's pick up and go. I don't need a lot. Find balance in that. Because obviously there's some stability needed in order to feel like you're in a healthy environment. But at the same time, it's almost as if you isolate too much and you don't let anyone in, that's also just as damning. Like you're still gonna feel that death by a thousand swords, basically, the tiny cuts that just end up making, you're just going to keep reliving that. That's that devil energy that, oh gosh, I'm just going to keep living in that same loop. Like I was hurt, I was damaged. Giving back into that mindset instead of moving forward towards like, okay, here I am again. I've been given this new beginning. Whatever it is, I'm going to take it, take what I've learned and go. All right. So clarify the devil for me, for Aries. Ooh, okay. So we have the Queen of Swords, truth. Stay truthful. Don't take any BS, not even your own. Own up to your own BS. Think about what you're doing to yourself. But also, when other people are showing you something in your environment, take a beat and see what's going on in your own life that's also kind of resonating with that. Like, it might not be the same type of situation, but there might be another area of your 12 houses where this is happening and you're doing it and, sorry, not sugarcoating it, but I mean, everybody does this in some way or another. So don't take it personally if it seems offensive. It's not meant to be at all. It's just, you know, take what resonates, leave the rest. Don't become so shut off to where you can't enjoy your life. Don't get so caught up in that Virgo over analytical mindset to where you feel so damaged that you can't enjoy the company of others, and that you don't have to be so tough and stoic. Like, you don't have to be like, I don't need anybody. Like, okay, sure, I know you don't. You're entering your sovereign state. This is your era. Okay. But don't be afraid to find balance. You don't have to take on everything by yourself. You don't have to take on everything by yourself, because it just leads to more draining, and you're just going to feel the same way as you did by being hurt by someone else. It's going to end you up in the same place. So don't think about it too much. Stay honest, stay reflective, stay humble, you know, keep your mind open. Yeah, let's see. Get a couple more cards here, clarifying the devil for Aries. Okay, so that's the star energy. Okay, yeah, that balance situation. You see the whole, gotta cover up the card. I forgot to do that with the devil, sorry. The water, pouring the water, all the emotions. It's air energy, Aquarius. Make sure that, and it's the card number 17, which I also associate with Aquarius for some reason. I have like weird thoughts in my mind where I associate numbers or colors with different words or meanings or months or letters. It's strange. But yeah, 17 and like 21 are like massive for me, like when it comes to the sign Aquarius. I don't get that. And 17 goes to 8, which is abundance. And Aquarius, yeah, they're the water bearers. It's the uniqueness. They're Uranus. Uranus is their dominating planet. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So stay in balance. Find that duality. That fine line between, you know, I'm sovereign, I'm independent, I worked hard to get here, I just surrender everything to up and go. And now I'm taking on everything on myself. And then you're stuck in that mental loop. And then now you're fighting off more things. You don't even have the time to resolve it. So stay honest, keep balance. Because it's there. You are the star. Uranus, you know, just left Taurus. So, and let's do this one. Oh, the Hierophant. You've learned a lesson. Learn the lesson. Don't get caught up. Commit. You don't have to overcommit to anything. Just learn your lessons, find your balance, and have that be your sense of peace. So that when things do happen, it doesn't have to be a huge tower moment. You can just kind of walk that narrow line of like, yeah, this sucks, but it's okay. I can still get through. Because you're Aries after all. Like, I love the energy of just like, well, that didn't work. Next. Okay. And the bold leader, like the fearlessness of not being afraid to take things on and not worrying about what other people think about it. I love that about Aries. So again, take what resonates. That's what I have for you. Go Aries. If you like this message, please like and subscribe. Leave any comments in the comment section and I'll get back to you. Thank you. Namaste.